Hey, everybody! Welcome to the show. You know, when you think of dinosaurs, you think big, scary, teeth-like steak knives, right? But not all dinos were giant monsters. Some were, how do you say, a little more pocket-sized. That's right, today we're diving into the world of the tiniest dinos ever. Get ready to have your minds blown, folks. Ha ha ha! First up, we've got Microraptor. This tiny dinosaur is one of the coolest prehistoric creatures you've probably never heard of. Its name means small thief, and it lived about 120 million years ago in what is now China. Imagine a dinosaur that's not much bigger than your average lunchbox. Pretty wild, right? This little guy was about the size of a crow, feathers and all. In fact, if you saw one today, you might mistake it for a strange bird. Its body was covered in sleek black feathers, and it even had long feathers on its arms and legs, making it look like a four-winged bird from a science fiction movie. Can you imagine? You open your lunchbox expecting a PB&J, and bam! Tiny Dino wants to trade for your apple slices. Picture sitting down at school, opening your lunch, and instead of a sandwich, you find a feathery little dinosaur peeking out, eyeing your snacks. Would you share your lunch with a dinosaur, or would you run for the hills? And talk about a light lunch. This little dude only weighed about 2 pounds soaking wet. That's lighter than most house cats, and just a bit heavier than a loaf of bread. You could probably pick it up with one hand, if it let you get close, that is. Scientists think Microraptor might have even glided between trees. Thanks to those extra long feathers on its arms and legs, it could spread out like a flying squirrel and soar from branch to branch, hunting for insects and small animals. Imagine a tiny four-winged dinosaur swooping through ancient forests, dodging leaves and sunlight. Talk about taking your lunch break to new heights. Get it? Heights! Because it's, never mind. But seriously, Microraptor was a real-life dino daredevil, gliding through the treetops long before birds ever existed. Next time you see a crow, just imagine it with a few extra wings and a whole lot more attitude. Next up is Compsognathus. This little dinosaur is a true fan favorite, and for good reason. Unlike the massive towering giants we usually picture when we think of dinosaurs, Compsognathus was a pint-sized predator that could easily be mistaken for a modern-day lizard at first glance. But don't let its small size fool you. This dino had a big personality packed into a tiny frame. This dino was all about that fun-sized life. Imagine a dinosaur that could scurry through the underbrush, darting between ferns and rocks, always on the lookout for its next meal. It was agile, quick, and perfectly adapted to its environment. We're talking about a dinosaur that could practically fit in your hand. Seriously, if you ever wanted a dinosaur as a pet, this would be the one. Its entire body was only about the length of a chicken, making it one of the smallest known dinosaurs. It was like the Chihuahua of the dinosaur world, small but mighty. Despite its size, Compsognathus was a confident little hunter, zipping around with the energy and attitude of a much larger animal. They were zippy little things, probably chasing after insects, small mammals, or anything else they could catch. Their speed and agility made them excellent hunters, able to dart after prey with lightning-fast reflexes, and maybe even the occasional, very small lizard. Compsognathus wasn't picky, it just needed to keep its tiny tummy full, so it would eat whatever it could find in its prehistoric world. Hey, a dino's gotta eat, right? Even if it's a teeny tiny one. So next time you think of dinosaurs, remember that not all of them were giants. Some, like Compsognathus, were small, speedy, and just as fascinating as their larger cousins. Hold on to your butts, folks, because things are about to get absolutely adorable. Get ready to meet a dinosaur that's not just cute, but also one of the tiniest to ever stomp around on prehistoric Earth. If you thought dinosaurs were all about giant teeth and thunderous footsteps, think again. This little creature is about to steal your heart. Meet Parvicursor, a dino so small you might miss it if you blink. Unlike its massive cousins, Parvicursor was a pint-sized wonder, scurrying through ancient undergrowth millions of years ago. Imagine a dinosaur that could fit in the palm of your hand. Now that's something you don't see every day at the museum. This little guy was only about a foot long, which is basically the size of a house cat. Picture your favorite feline, but with tiny claws and a long, slender tail. It's wild to think that a dinosaur could be so small, right? If you had Parvicursor as a pet, it could probably curl up on your lap just like a kitten. Can you imagine this little dude trying to be intimidating? Maybe it would puff itself up, arch its back, and glare at you with all the ferocity it could muster. But let's be honest, it would probably just make you want to scoop it up and give it a gentle pat on the head. Roar! That's what he'd say, but instead of a fearsome bellow, it would come out as the tiniest, most adorable squeak you've ever heard. Imagine a dinosaur trying to sound tough, but all you hear is a little peep. How cute is that? I bet even a butterfly wouldn't be scared. In fact, the butterfly might be the one doing the scaring. Parvicursor may not have been the king of the dinosaurs, but it definitely wins the prize for the most charming. Who knew prehistoric times could be so heart-meltingly cute? Next up is Canagnathasia, and this dino was basically the original pocket monster. Move over, Pikachu, there's a new adorable in town. This feathered friend was only about the size of a chicken, and it had a beak instead of teeth. Can you imagine? No ferocious chompers, just a little beak for pecking at seeds and insects. It's like the dinosaur version of a bird feeder. Last but not least, we've got Epidexipteryx, and this dino was rocking some serious feathers. We're talking long, beautiful plumage, especially on its tail. It was like the Elton John of the dinosaur world. But here's the thing, Epidexipteryx was only about 10 inches tall. That's shorter than a bowling pin. This dino probably needed a step stool to reach its own nest. Haha. And there you have it, folks, the tiniest dinos that ever roamed the earth. Thanks for joining me on this prehistoric adventure. Remember, even though these dinos were small, they were still an important part of the dinosaur world. So next time you're walking around, be careful not to step on any tiny dinos. They might be hiding in the grass, just waiting to borrow your shoelaces. Haha.